Welcome back to Spooky Hollows 365. Back at you guys with another unboxing. Today we got quite of a big unboxing today. We got 12-foot animated Pumpkin King from Lowe's, and also his two little henchmen. This is the pop-up henchman, and then that goes with the big mouth henchman. These two guys pair up to make a whole scene for the Pumpkin King. Let's get into it.
And now we got the head reveal in 3, 2, 1. As you see, he has really cool designs on him. You can see like the dirt and stuff.
The face is probably the best part. All right, let's get into the parts, guys. So here it looks like we have his torso or his chest piece, top area. It's pretty cool, a lot of detail in that. And it also looks like it lights up. Then we got, looks like a leg. Here we got the hand. As you can see, that guy's massive right there. Almost half of me. The massive foot. This thing is huge. His other hand. Once again, everything is just absolutely massive with this guy. His other leg. We got his clothes or his tunic. These, I believe, are all the leg pieces in here in this box. The leg snap pulls, snap locks. Now we got this contraption here. This probably makes him do his animation, which we'll show you guys at the end. Don't want to spoil that. And then this is probably the heaviest piece. This is the big mechanism that controls everything. It's very heavy. And he has a double base. These most likely connect together.
Alright, now I think we're done with this. Now let's move on to the base. Now we're putting the feet on. Make sure these two arrows are facing towards each other like that. Because if you don't, then the feet won't go on right.
Left foot on. Right foot slide down there. Fix them up. Adjust them a little. They're a little tricky to adjust. But as you can see, the arrows meet up in the middle like that. And they lock in the center here. And then we got these two leg pulls labeled E and 12 actually, but these connect into the back on E. There's a little snap lock back here. You're gonna push that guy right down. Yep. They're a little tricky. And then they actually have these two little threaded nuts or knobs. They go into here, right here. And that is just for extra security. You're just gonna thread those guys in there. Nice and tight. Alrighty. Next pieces are gonna be our calves. These little calf pieces. I'm gonna hand one off to Shannon over here. And the way these guys go on is this piece is gonna slide down onto the pole. And you're gonna kind of wanna, just move them around, adjust them until you get it into that hole. And it should line up just like that. Same thing on that side. They're a little tricky. All right, we got that guy in. And now we got this little like swinging mechanism here.
Whoa.
This, you're gonna go in F to F. Okay, you got these, it's labeled F at the bottom here. And also F here, and we got F labeled on these poles. So we're gonna slide that guy down in there. Just line it up. Those snap locks are just pushed right in, just like that. And then these guys also have 2 threaded nuts. I'm gonna hand one off to Cristiano there. One right here, one right here. They're usually one's on the outside and one will be on the inside. With these threaded nuts. This is again just for the extra security. And then, okay, I think at this point we're actually gonna wanna put them down so we can. All right, guys, we got the main mech here. As you can see, it's controlled by this rope pulley system we got here. Once again, I think that's for his animation that he does, which is pretty cool. And we're gonna slide this guy into the H section here. This guy's labeled H, and there's these 2 poles that I'm sliding it into are also labeled H. And you can kind of just use that weight to push it right down like that.
And there's four poles that are labeled I. You're just gonna line those up. A little bit tricky. There you go. And then you're gonna thread this this long nut through this hole right here. Gonna twist that right in.
All right, guys, so we got these 2 pieces labeled K. All right, these pieces are gonna slide in down here. And then the nut actually slides into the side here. And you're going to thread it through, and you're going to see it's going to come out of here in just a second. Right there. And you're just going to thread that guy until it's all the way tight. And then we're going to move up here to this side. Now, these are very flexible, so don't be too worried about bending them. They're going to bend, and they're going to line up to this hole right here. And it's going to come in, the nut's going to come in from this side, though. Okay? So I'll show that here. And then we're going to tighten that guy up, and you're going to see it's going to come right through here. There it is, coming right out there. And that's how you install these 2 pieces here. All right, guys, we got the tunic on just off camera, and then we got him leaned over on top of the box. And the next piece we got is like his chest area. Your first snap block is going to be labeled L. It's also going to be labeled L here. It's this little swinging piece. You're going to put that into there, line it up, snap block in. And then, so this thing doesn't just like free slide, we're going to take this piece. This is labeled M. It's also labeled M here. And you can kind of adjust this to fit in there. Just like that. And then it'll hold itself. Alright, guys, we got this little connector piece that's also attached to the torso. That's coming from this mech. And you're going to plug that into there. Screw it nice and tight. And the next piece is going to be our like back loop, I guess, or back chest piece. It's going to slide into N here. And then O up here. Just like so. Alright, guys, we got the head here labeled T. Make sure when you're putting this in, you slide the adapter through while you're putting it in. And it's just going to slide into this bottom portion here. Both of the parts are labeled T, so it's very easy to see where you have to slide it in. And then we got this connector here that's going to connect into. Just like that. And screw it tight. Now we're going to pull up the clothes. We're going to cut that out, and we're going to get the arms installed. Alright, guys, we got these arm pieces, one labeled Q, one labeled P. Q is going to be for our left side right here. And they have these little slots here that make it just a little easier to put these arm pieces in. And we're going to fish it down here. And then right here is our snap lock. We're going to push it into there, snap lock it down, just like so. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Once again, fish it down there. And then get it into this snap lock. Alright guys, we got the hand here, this big vine hand, probably as big as my head. This part is labeled S, this is going to be for our left side, and then the other hand is labeled R, which is going to be for your right side, and these are going to slide in just like this. Line it up. Snap lock it down. You can pull those close up also. As you can see, it's starting to look really good. Can't wait to see the end product. And then our other arm labeled R is going to slide in right to there. Bang, just like that. All right, guys, we're going to get them pulled up, the adapter plugged in, and the animation.
And now we're moving on to the big mouth pumpkin henchman. Let's get into that.
All right, first here we got the hand.
Tiny hand.
Just some little cardboard inserts. And then this head reveal in 3, 2, 1. Look at that guy. Little strings in the mouth. This is going to pull down the eyes. They did these guys perfect.
That's really cool.
Probably some of my favorite animatronics.
And here it looks like this is another arm, I think. A hand.
We got these. We got 2 little tiny feet. Pull that out. That's the torso.
And here is the torso.
This is like the main mechanism for him. Just covered in some cardboard. We'll get that out. And then here it looks like we got the base. I believe this is the base in this packaging. It's a 2-piece base. Let's get right into the build then.
Let's do this. All right, now we have the base here. You're going to put F to G right there. And you're going to put these snap locks in. There you go. That's one.
All right. And then we're going to move on to the feet. And now, guys, these feet screw in to the bottom here. We're not going to show that. We're going to do that off camera. But they also go into the base right here. And then you see these holes. That's where you're going to screw into there. But we're not going to do that on camera, guys. And then we got the torso section. This is labeled E. This also has a screw in the back, but we're just going to snap lock it in for now. Right here, it's going to go into there. Snap lock down like that. And then we're going to move on to this hip loop here. Goes in right here. And this has a little cotter pin. Once again, guys, we'll do that off camera. Just going to slide it down like that. This is probably just to give them some structure. And all these arm pieces screw in with screws. So we're going to do that off camera. His head also here screws into screws. So we'll get back to you guys when we have that all screwed in, done up.
And we just got done building the big mouth henchman, and now we're moving on to the pop-up henchman. This comes built already. You see the head is very cool. Here you can see you got his feet. These are labeled D. And here, this is what seems to be the base. Alright, let's get to building.
We got my assistant here, Bruno. Let's get started on this build. All right, so first we got the base, very similar to the big mouth henchman. We're going to pop in these 2 base snap locks here. And they'll slide in like so. Then same thing with the other henchman. This guy has screws on the bottom, but we're going to do those off camera. So we're just going to pop these into the base for now. Like so. And then the main piece. This guy is very cool. I like him a lot. I like his face. It looks very funny. Here is where it's going to slide in. Right here, this is going to slide in right to here. And there is a screw on the back here, but once again, we're not going to thread those right now. And there is a bunch of adapters and connectors back here that you're going to have to plug in. Other than that, this guy's a very easy build. Let's get on to the demos, guys.
All right, now we have everyone built. Let's get into their demos. This is gonna be a real cool one. Now we're doing the nighttime demo of the Pumpkin King and his two henchmen. But before we start this nighttime demo, I want to shout out Spook365 for telling us how well made Pumpkin King is. So let's get into the demo.
All right, guys, those are the demos of the 12-foot Pumpkin King and the two henchmen, the pop-up henchman and the big mouth henchman. These guys are probably one of my favorite animatronics. The setup and everything is very cool.
Make sure you guys stay tuned for the night demo because that's gonna be really cool. Because then the Pumpkin King is gonna light up. That's gonna be really cool. And now that was the nighttime and daytime demo. Make sure to like, comment, and smash that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. Goodbye.